you can think sometimes that just taking 3 seconds to think of something you're grateful for doesn't make a difference, but it makes a huge difference, like such a big difference. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, my name is Sophie, and on this channel I talk mostly about manifestation, self-development and personal growth. Today I wanted to make a video about happiness and just how to choose happiness every day. Because for the past couple of weeks I've been making some very conscious choices, and I'm really starting to notice the benefits and reap the rewards. So I really just wanted to share with everyone my experience and what I have found works and how amazing it can feel, and how the payoff of doing these small little things can be so worth it. Because sometimes happiness can seem like it's something that's like over there, or something that's hard to get to, or especially if you're not feeling it in the moment, it can feel like something that's like a struggle or an uphill battle, you know? So basically what I've kind of learned is that it's not just some big emotion that washes over you out of nowhere. It's small daily choices that build up over time and make a subtle difference in your life. And before you know it, you just feel happy. And I just think it's so powerful to track back the systematic way of how we got there, because then you kind of have like this wonderful formula that you can kind of implement or cultivate whenever you need it. Or, you know, it's easy to kind of become aware when you're knocked off kind of the feeling, or you're kind of feel like you're falling down or things are getting out of control. If you kind of are more aware and you're noticing these things from the moment, from the onset, it's so much easier to just get back on. You know, it's so much easier to find the joy again and just find your way back to the joy, basically. So yeah, like I just had this kind of revelation this morning that I have been making these choices, these conscious choices to choose happiness and to be happy and to do things that make me happy, or think thoughts that make me happy. And I didn't realize until today how much that pays off. Like in the moment I was doing it because I knew that it was good for me, but the build up has suddenly just hit me, and I just realized now that I'm just like, my dominant state is joy. My dominant state is happiness. And when I'm not feeling happy, I'm so okay with it because I'm processing it, and I know how easy it is to find my way back to happiness. And I just think that that's everything, to know that inside, that you can always find your way back to happiness. So that's really like why I wanted to share this video, so that maybe that other people can benefit from it, you know what I mean? So the first thing that I really do in the morning is I express gratitude just for being alive. And I know, like, if you don't feel it, it may seem silly, but all you have to do is just say it. Just say it in your mind. The habit will be created over time, and then one day it will just click and you'll feel it. I promise it will work. So every morning when I wake up, I sometimes say like, I'm so grateful to be alive, or I'm so grateful for my life. I start to wonder what good experiences can happen today, or I just say today's going to be an amazing day. I just open myself up to that possibility. Because if you think about it, usually when you wake up, you're carrying the thoughts from yesterday or the day before, and it's kind of this recycled pattern of thoughts of expectation. You know, you're actually creating, like when you start to plan, I'm going to go to work, or I'm going to have my breakfast, or I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this today, you're limiting yourself. You're actually putting that in a box, like a tunnel vision box, when you start to kind of plan those things and speculate what's going to happen. Whereas if you just say, today is going to be an amazing day, and just open yourself up to the possibility, things can happen that will surprise me, or I'm opening up to surprises, I'm opening up to newness. Making a statement like that, making an intention like that is huge, because instantly you're expanding your energy field. You're not just in the same habit of thought that you have been in for a long time now, and it's kind of like your identity, you know, this is who I am, this is what I do. Open yourself up to surprises. You know, that's why I found I moved to New Zealand for a year, and I've lived in Australia before for a year as well, and I found that that's really helpful for me to find even more happiness. And I started questioning that, like, why is it that I feel so happy when I'm traveling or when I'm living in another country? And it kind of dawned on me, it's because I'm so open to newness and possibility and surprises and a different way of being. You know, I'm not in the same pattern that I've created. So once I realized that, I knew then that I could cultivate that in my daily life, wherever I am, just that opening up to possibilities, and for something different to happen today than I would expect, something drastically different, and kind of aligning yourself with that. So just getting those thoughts going in the morning is really helpful. It can be super easy. Just today's going to be an amazing day, and just feel the possibility of something different coming into your path that day. So that's one way. And another thing I like to practice, and I shared this before in a couple of my other videos, but while you're still lying in bed, sometimes I think about something that makes me happy, like a positive memory, someone I love, something great that happened, and I just feel like, where is that in my body? Find where it is, and I just breathe into it, activate it, and spread it around the rest of my body. It literally can take 10 seconds. So sometimes I do that. Again, you don't need to be regimented about this. It's just about finding something that's going to spark a little bit of joy inside of you as soon as you wake up, because that's the kind of snowball effect that it's going to have on your day as you go. The point I also really want to make is that at first, when you decide, okay, I'm deciding that I'm going to choose happiness, at first it's going to feel difficult, because you have been conditioned, we all have been conditioned to get comfortable in those fear-based thoughts, or the mindset of lack, of not having what you want, or not feeling like you have the power to create the life that you want, like it's outside of you and not inside of you. So that's a habit that's been going on in our minds for a long time. So when you start to think these new thoughts, it feels hard at first, because you are forming a new neural pathway in your brain. And if you think about that like digging a tunnel, when you're like digging the tunnel, you know, like this is like what the pathways are like in your brain. Forming it is the hard part. That's like the creating of the habit. So you have to be a little bit persistent with it. But once it's formed, you can just like shoot through the tunnel. You know, once you form that little habit, then those thoughts just come so easily, and it just feels like default. It feels natural and normal. So it will get easier over time. That's why repetition is key, because you want to create that new habit of thought, which shifts you into a new identity. And then you're becoming that higher version of yourself, that happy version of yourself. And then it's so much easier to access. Once you get to that point once, there's no going back then. You know, it's always going to be so much easier for you to find that place of happiness. Another way that I find works really well for me is cultivating a sense of trust, knowingness that what you want is possible. And by focusing on it, you are creating it. Because like attracts like, wherever you focus your energy and like your focus, that's where the energy flows. So, you know, like a mirror or a magnet, whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you focus on is attracted to you. You know, like it seems as though we're made of matter and that our bodies are solid. But like science has proven that we're literally made up of atoms. Atoms are 99% empty space. and that the atoms are vibrating. Like, it's not matter, we're just vibrating energy. And if the law of attraction, the universal law, the law of attraction, when we're vibrating with energy, that's attracting the same energetic frequency to us. So if you're feeling a certain way, you're attracting more of those feelings and more of those thoughts. So when you're focused on what you want, you're attracting it to you. Once you know that, then the next step is letting go, receiving. If you're constantly focused on it and holding onto it, that is then shifting you into the energy of lack, the energy of, I don't have it yet. And then you start attracting that to you. So you've knocked yourself out of alignment, So once you've focused, you know that it's done. You trust in the universal law. You don't question gravity. So why would you question the law of attraction? It's just a universal law. So if you do the focus and then detach in the knowingness that it's coming, trusting that it's coming in the perfect divine timing. And you can do that with your thoughts. What are your thoughts saying? Are your thoughts saying, where is it? Or I wonder how it's going to come. Why is it not here yet? Instead, you can just focus on the thoughts of, look at all the things that I have wanted in the past that I worried about, and now they're here. I've created them. Focusing on having it is what has created it and pulled it into my life. So I can just let go and trust the universe and have thoughts like, of course it's coming. I know it's coming. I trust that it's coming. And when you let go, then you can just go on with your daily life, enjoy, be present in the moment. Being present in the moment puts you in a state of receptivity so that you can allow in all the inspirational ideas that you have created by being in the state of your desire. When you get into that state, you're practicing what it would feel like. So you're preparing your body and your mind so it becomes more familiar. I don't know how many times I've done this with stuff that seemed so out of my reach, something that might have seemed impossible for me to achieve. When I implemented the practices of, visualization or focusing on what would it feel like if I had it right now. I did that so often that it became so comfortable for me to be in that feeling that when it did come around, when it did manifest into my physical reality, it just felt normal. I was used to it. And that kind of brings me to the next one I do to kind of cultivate happiness in my life is setting regular intentions throughout your day. I don't know how many times I've noticed when I'm not intentional about something, it goes wrong, or I lose control of the situation, or I find myself in a negative thinking pattern, or I find myself feeling low or not being motivated or not getting stuff done. That piece of hair is so annoying. So intention setting throughout the day as regularly as possible. So I do that before I set out to do anything. I do it at the start of the day. I do it before I leave my house. Before I make the video, I intend for how I want it to go, how I want to feel, my intention for the people who watch it, that I want it to help them, or for the people who want to hear this message are able to find this video, something like that. And I'm kind of got myself into that state as if it's already happened. And I noticed as well, even if you have doubt, or you're feeling uninspired, or you feel lack of motivation to get something done, if you just write down or think the intention, it went so well, or I'm so happy, getting into that confident state of that person who's already achieved that thing. I'm so happy that this thing has now been achieved, and then just let it go. I find that I'm always then naturally just drawn to do it. I end up just doing it naturally without even thinking about it. Whereas when I don't set the intention, I'm always when am I going to do it? I haven't done it yet. What am I don't feel inspired. I don't feel the energy. I find myself going into those thought patterns. But when I just set the clear intention, write it down, think it, or speak it out loud, I'm just naturally pulled to do the thing that I want to do. The other important one is gratitude. So practicing gratitude throughout the day. Now, I already do like a morning gratitude practice specifically, and that gets me into a really high vibrational state at the start of the day, but also throughout the day. And the reason I bring this up is because you can think sometimes that just taking 3 seconds to think of something you're grateful for doesn't make a difference, but it makes a huge difference, like such a big difference. Like sometimes I'll just feel lazy and I'll be thinking, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm grateful, I don't really need to like say it. But it's like, no, you actually have to say it out loud and direct your focus like a laser just for that couple of seconds on why you're grateful, or if something good happens to you. Don't just skip on to the next thing. Stop and milk it for all it's worth. When a good feeling comes up, just stop and just be like, wow, this feels so good. This is what I love about this thing, or I really like the way this feels, like, or, you know, proving to yourself like, look, good things really happen in my life, or it's easy for me to feel good. Taking those moments is ingraining it into your subconscious and helping you shift into that happier version. And those little moments like create habits that have like a massive impact on your life and how happy you are on a day-to-day basis. And the final point I want to make for this video, yesterday I wrote down the sentence, focus on love rather than lack. And that really helped me to kind of, you know, trigger, like it's an easy sentence to remember, and trigger the whole process of checking in with myself regularly, noticing on the things that I want, for example, or the things that I'm trying to manifest into my life. Am I focused on what I love about that thing and why I want it in my life and how I would feel if I had that thing? Or am I focused on how am I going to get there? Or why is it not in my life already? Or when is it coming? And we can kind of slip into that state without even realizing it. And then what we're doing with that is actually manifesting the opposite of what we want, because you're manifesting with your energy as well. And think about it anyway, like if you're in that energy state, how different does that feel? Like it doesn't feel good to think those thoughts. So can you find a better feeling thought, like reminding yourself, what is it that you love about that thing that's causing you to even want it? That energy of love is so powerful and it transforms. And it's so easy to find that energy of love when you just think about the reason as to why you want the thing that it is that you're after. Why do you want it? How would it feel if you had it? Because why do we want anything? Money, because we believe it will give us freedom. What does it feel like for you to feel free now? Can you feel that emotion now? Can you do one small thing in your day that will make you feel that freedom right now? Because that's all you're after, is the feeling. And once you feel that now, it's actually going to attract more of that to you. And anyway, it doesn't really matter, because if you're feeling that now, you've got to where you want to be. And the more you do this, it becomes a habit. And if you have a habit of constantly focusing on the love rather than the lack, how much is that going to change your life? How much is that going to change how you feel on a day-to-day basis? How is it going to impact your relationships with the people that you love, or just the quality of how you do things, the quality of your life? It's just a very subtle shift from one thought to another that can bring so much joy and happiness into your life. So I just wanted to share that video with you guys. They're kind of the top tips that have been going through my mind the past couple of weeks, and I've just noticed such a massive shift in how I feel, and being able to navigate so much easier when I have those difficult, heavy emotions, or when I have negative thought patterns, being able to navigate back to joy. I just find the path is really easy for me now. So I really wanted to share that with anyone who might need it. And if you have any questions, or if I was unclear with any of that, please let me know. I would be delighted to help in any way I can. Just leave a comment down below and I'll for sure get back to you. If you like the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and definitely hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon if you would like to be notified when I put out new videos. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.